Lamine Yamal steps into McDonald's, looks left, sees Pulisic, looks right, sees Jimenez. Gives a nod to Ronaldinho in the corner with a FIFA World Cup meal. Ronaldinho sees Son in the booth. Son finds Beckham going for extra Big Mac sauce. He's got Davies at the table just behind him. Davies going for his collectible cup. Oh, no! A steal by Henry, who pulls his own collectible cup. Collect one of 9 legendary cups with a FIFA World Cup meal.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last. All rights reserved. 2026 McDonald's at FIFA World Cup 2026.
Pays checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place. Pays. It checks out. Activation required. See pays.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's Dembele. Opportunity here. The Ballon d'Or winner, and he scores. France ahead early on. Does France still have it with Dembele? He's going to try his luck again. He's going to score again. Dembele at the double. And Dembele will try to get on that left foot again. You know it, you know it. And there's the result. He's got a hat-trick. Rodgers is waiting in the middle. Kane's waiting in the middle. Kane, 2-0. England pull away. And Harry Kane yet again.
Wissa. DR Congo are heading for the knockout round. So what can Messi do this time? It's in low, it's in! It's Messi! It's magical! It's another record! He's scored in 7 successive World Cup Finals games! Is there nothing this magical man can't do? Ball flicked in. Shaggy! Whoa! That was Myers! Again! Out of nowhere!
We'll see what else they have.
Ball played across, headed back across the face. It's tied again! You're kidding me!
His group stage made me fall asleep. But the positive thing is, the group stage is over. It's time to wake up, America. The real World Cup starts tomorrow with the knockout round.
Now this would be a lovely time to score a goal if you're Canadian. Schaffelberg, play by Ocon, on the strike from Yustaki! In the final game, beating South Korea, but it is Canada who are through to the last 16 of the FIFA World Cup for the very first time.
Live from New York, shout out to Canada. They just got their first World Cup win ever.
Yeah.
Last week, all of a sudden, they're in the round of 16. And as an added bonus for soccer fans across the world, Nick kind of has a new toy.
Hey, hold on.
I don't know
got
what
a question
it is,
for you,
but
KW.
he's like, wait till you see this. So here we go.
Did Nick Wright get all of his losses back and then some over this weekend?
Oh, wow.
It is decidedly so. I did! World Cup 8-ball. Did
you buy that?
But don't worry about where I got
That
it.
is an 8-ball?
It is a World Cup 8-ball.
Oh, wow, that's
Is
cool.
Brazil still underrated?
So can you show it to me?
Okay, look. Oh, that said don't count on it. Okay. that one I don't like.
Underrated,
But I don't know. What I do know is this. That Algeria-Austria draw
Let me see that.
was one of the biggest financial moments of my entire life. I dropped to my knees in the sports book in Miami watching it. So good. So good. I trusted the process, KW. Everybody else out here betting goals, props. I'm like, I have a World Cup system. It's going to come through. It came through. What is your... See? It's pretty good.
Denied! I love this. We're going to do it all week. All right, first hour, first things first. Today, Warriors want LeBron, AD, and Steph. Can they pull this off? And
I bet they
work?
get Steph.
Steph's locked in. Meanwhile, what are the chances that A.J. Brown and Drake Maye end up as the league's most dynamic duo? Shaking, shaking, shaking the magic 8-ball.
Don't count on it.
Very high. And finally, does Japan have Brazil on upset alert? Today at 1 o'clock on Fox, the upset alert lights are already flashing.
And you know the answer to that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Upset alert?
Yeah.
They're snoozing.
Yeah.
What does Bruce say?
No, I'm not saying it
I'm
on this one.
comatose.
I'm not saying it on this game.
That's if you're sleeping on the team.
Good point. But you still also, you know when you're not alert? when you're comatose.
Fair.
Thank you.
Chris Broussard, Kevin Wildes, Nick Wright, who is
in a great mood.
Because he's equal.
I'm just
he's
out of the hole.
You know
he's
what that
basically
means?
even.
Gifts coming.
Oh, let's go.
Yes, baby.
You know what?
Gucci
You might be right.
We start in San Francisco, where Team USA will play Bosnia-Herzegovina in the round of 32 on Wednesday. USA striker Flo Balogun on the knockout round. I can feel the difference in just the atmosphere. It's knockout football, so you lose, you go home. So for me, there's a change in my mindset and mentality as well. You can just go into another gear because you want it more. I don't want the journey to end. Expectations are high for Team USA after a strong group stage. What are your expectations for USA on Wednesday and moving forward, bro?
I'm expecting them to look better than ever. And I don't think they've looked bad at all in this tournament. I mean, when you consider Australia, you know, that was a great win. They had a clean sheet against Australia, 2-0. And that was a team that had beaten Turkey, upset them. And then the loss, I'm not down on the loss, because we played our second unit and took that game until the last minute. The Turkey A team that's pretty good. And when we had our full complement of players, obviously meaning Christian Pulisic, we scored 3 goals in a half against Paraguay.
That's right.
All right, and we have it as good as we've looked. It's been, for the most part, without our best player. So him coming back, looking like he can go a full 90 minutes if necessary, I expect them to really play well and, go on from here and be impressive in this next round.
So I echo that entirely. While I was maybe more muted in some of my feelings after the Turkey A game, and I obviously was more frustrated with Pulisic's injury than I think most were. It is undeniable that this team, when it's been, when the games have mattered, with or without Pulisic, have looked excellent.
Right.
It's also undeniable that Bosnia is and I'm not trying to, I was listening to one of the broadcasts this weekend, and one of the announcers said they thought England lost a World Cup match to Croatia 2 tournaments ago because not strictly, but in part because the English and commentators and announcers had so short-sold Croatia that after the game, the Croatian players were like, we heard what they were saying about us, and we, like bulletin board material. Right. So I don't want to do that for Bosnia. Go ahead.
I mean, I like our show, too. I don't know if we're affecting World Cup.
I'm just, I'm not saying that either. I'm simply saying I'm not trying to add any bulletin board material for the team, as they mentioned it happened in previous World Cups. It's fine.
I guess so.
But Bosnia is the worst team that we will have played in the
you hear that?
The worst?
I mean, they're the worst ranked of any of the they're lower FIFA ranking than Paraguay, Australia, or Turkey. As far as in the last year, here are the teams Bosnia has beaten on the international level. Qatar's the 59th ranked team in the world. Italy and Wales are the only top 40 teams they've beaten. Yeah, and those were both in penalties. They have 2 wins against San Marino, which I consider myself a bit of a worldly man. I didn't know that was a country, and then I looked into it. I was like, that's a country within a country. It's fully enclosed in Italy. You think you're in Italy? It's like, nope, you're in San Marino. It also, you see that 211th ranking, there's 211 teams. So it's they have two of their 5 wins or 7 wins have come against the worst team in the world. And as far as the teams that advance to the round of 32, here's where Bosnia ranks in some offensive categories. And so I expect the U.S. to look great, and I don't want to put a damper on this at all, but it is fair to say, and it I think almost goes without saying, if they were to lose on Wednesday, it's an utter catastrophe.
No question.
And it undercuts, there is no but they had an awesome first. It makes this entire event for the U.S. a massive failure. I don't think Pochettino would let that happen, and I think they're good enough. Soccer, random stuff can happen.
Right.
Because there's so few scoring opportunities. I think that for the first time in my adult life, the U.S. has a team that even if the variance and randomness goes against them a bit, they can overcome it against an opponent of this level.
I totally agree.
Jurgen Klopp, famous manager, was asked by ESPN, like, hey, have you been impressed with the USA team? It's like, it's the best team USA has ever had. Yeah. I was like, good, because that's what I feel, but I also am aware that I'm being swept up in a little bit of the World Cup frenzy.
I think everybody feels that way.
We've scored the most goals in the group stage than we have in the entire World Cup ever. So it's our best offensive team. And Christian Pulisic hasn't even been 100% of the time. He's played 77 minutes. He's created a shot or assisting on a shot every 19 minutes. So we score early. We score often. With Tim Ream and Chris Richards back there, I feel great about our defense. We should win. And like you said, Nick, it's actually a compliment to where USA soccer is as a whole, that if we lost, it would be devastating. Yeah. So it's like we've leveled up, as the kids like to say. Gianni, yeah?
Go ahead, sir.
Well, I was going to add to what Wilds was saying about this being the best team ever. If we beat Bosnia, which of course we expect to, that's the most wins we've ever had in the World Cup.
Including
since 19.
No, including.
We were one of the best
we're
teams in the world.
Third place.
The only thing you said, KW, is I disagree with that. It's a compliment that losing here would be a disaster.
Because Bosnia is so.
Yeah, and because they've expanded the tournament, it's a round of 32. Like if the U.S. team, a worse version of the U.S. team, say the U.S. team from 4 years ago or from 12 years ago, because 8 years ago we missed, would be expected to win this game. And so, like, now in the next round is where, you understand what I mean? Like, this is not the equivalent of getting out of the group, but the final 16 used to be when you get out of the group.
Right.
And so this is a literal must-win and an emotional must-win in all ways, shape, and form.
Okay, that's July 1st, 8 o'clock Wednesday from San Francisco. We're going to stay in the Bay where the Warriors are attempting to create a senior league super team. Kevin O'Connor outlining. Trade Jimmy for AD, then sign LeBron as a free agent. You got Steph, LeBron, AD, coached by Steve Kerr, a little bit of a Olympics reunion. Through your reaction to this idea.
Well, first, I don't think this is going to happen. Washington can offer AD in mid-August a 4-year, $275 million contract extension. Now, I wouldn't do that if I'm Washington.
Do you think they're going to?
I'm not sure. You know, they're kind of.
I mean, they just gave Trey 4 for $212.
Right, and then I wouldn't lock up AD. He's only 32, but it feels like he's 42. You know, with his health injury history. So, if they do though, AD's not leaving. Now he couldn't get that extension until 6 months down the line with Golden State, and I'm not sure Golden State would do it. So, and then if Washington is willing to trade AD. I feel like they should be able to get much more or more than a 37-year-old Jimmy Butler who's not even going to be able to play till January or February or something like that.
So just because I know you want to say all Washington gave up to get Anthony Davis was A.J. Johnson, who was a late first-round pick a couple years ago, the 30th pick, and a top 20 protected future first 5 years down the road, and expiring contracts. Like Anthony Davis was just traded for very, very little. So I would have agreed with you, Brew. Like you can't, for what the Warriors would have to give up to get AD. Oh, you can't get AD for that. But Washington got him for next to nothing. Right. 2 expiring contracts. Again, the 30th pick, a top 20 protected first, and A.J. Johnson. That's all they gave up to get him.
If I was Washington, I'd be trying to get much more than Jimmy. Like I said, Jimmy Butler is
just
not
an
even expiring
money.
Right, that's what it would be. Look, if it happened, though, I would love to see this. And what I think, you're talking about a starting lineup, let's say LeBron running the point, Steph, Draymond, Anthony Davis, and Porzingis. But if you go big, you can go big with
Yaxel,
Porzingis
if they want to start a rookie, an old
we'll
rookie.
See if he's ready. Yeah. But
Like, I'm old too.
No, what I'm saying, like more ready. Yeah, like
it
more
would
pro-ready
be incredibly fun. I would love to see it, and I think it is about trying to maximize Steph's last few years. I do think the injury concerns would be through the roof. I mean, LeBron's 42, and he's the least of your injury concerns. Obviously, AD's played like 71 games in the last 2 years. Steph played 43. Yeah, so how much they would be on the court would be a question. If they were all healthy and together, I think they could be a top 4 team in the West. I still don't think they could beat OKC or San Antonio in the playoffs.
You don't think they could?
I mean,
I'm not saying
anything, but I don't think it's at all likely. I think they'd be heavy underdogs and would get beaten soundly because I don't think they'd have the athletic. That team I just mentioned, throwing Paz, throwing any of those young guys, they don't have the athleticism to compete with what OKC is going to throw out there or an improved and matured San Antonio team.
So I want to go in reverse from the start where you ended and then get to where you started. 1,000% agree it would be the most injury risk team, we've ever seen in the NBA. Just because of the age and the youngest guy of your core, AD, is the most biggest injury concern. But if you were to tell me they were fully healthy for a playoff run, I do think they could compete for a championship. And I do think that is the exact type of team that could really give San Antonio trouble. Because Anthony Davis is a great kind of help side defender if you want him, and Draymond is going to compete his ass off, his strength and everything. And so I do think that if you were to tell me we turned the injuries off and this is their roster, I think they would be eye level with those teams you mentioned. As far as the likelihood of it happening, a little breaking news maybe.
Yeah, we might have it. If Dusty, did we get it built or no?
If we don't have the Shams tweet.
Shams tweeting, Draymond is declining his $27.7 million player option to become a free agent, sources tell ESPN. This move gives the Warriors flexibility to pursue LeBron in free agency and AD via trade to form a big 4.
So I love this.
So it'd be great to see.
So this is, again, where it has to be mentioned, I guess. LeBron James, I don't know if people know this, clutch client. I think he might even have a small piece of the agency.
Northern Cali.
Draymond Green, clutch client. Gotcha. Anthony Davis, clutch client. So as far as AD, if they wanted this to happen, Draymond and LeBron coming together to figure out, hey, how much are you getting, how much am I getting? And AD trying to force his way there. There's
and they're all great friends.
Right, and so there's
I love this with all my heart.
So I really like it too.
So how good will they? Well, you think they can win a championship?
Well, can I pitch you this? I wonder if Steve Kerr, who's from the Bulls to the Spurs to the front office to broadcasting to the Warriors, I wonder if Steve Kerr, all of his experience, Steph, all of his experience, LeBron, all experience, you know what? Why don't we do it a little bit differently? Why don't we try to win? The Wolves were in the 6th seed with 49 games. The Hawks were the 6th seed with 46 games. Our goal is to avoid the play-in, and we just gun for the 6th seed. And health. Health is number 1. The 6th seed is number 2. If we fall the play-in, so be it. And then get in and then be 100%, sort of like the Knicks were, be a peak playoff game 1 rather than caring.
So what does that mean? All load managing everybody throughout the season?
Yes.
It's hard to predict. It's hard to set that up. I mean, you could try to do that, but then the West is tough.
Does load manage mean missed games or very low minutes?
I think you mean
everything's on the board. Missed games, missed road trips. Really just be no, our season starts on day 1 of the playoffs. We just need to be there. And really, it's almost like it would kind of mess up the whole idea of the regular season a little bit.
That used to be incredibly frowned on because remember, Jordan toyed with the idea at one point of playing like, I could play 50 games and be ready for the playoffs. And everybody was like, what would that do to the regular season? It just seemed almost like cheating, like you're just trying to play in the playoffs. I don't think they would take that. They would be very cautious and careful, and that would be smart, kind of like when you have a Kawhi Leonard. But that's just hard because you do have to win a certain number of games in a tough Western Conference.
It's two things quickly. One is, it's very weird to say, but the only guy that I would say definitely should do that is AD.
I know.
Like, LeBron's going to want to play. Like,
I think Steph is going to want to play as well.
And Steph's, right, 100%. Yeah. And Draymond, to his credit, has been very durable.
Yeah.
Like, Draymond is older, but has been super durable. As far as their ability to compete is, to me, totally contingent on AD. And that I still think he is one of the things that he doesn't have on his resume that he should, is a Defensive Player of the Year. I think there was a period of time where, for about 3 years, where he was pretty clearly, to me, the most impactful overall defender in basketball. And that just so much would be taken off LeBron's plate. It's like, okay, so floor is going to be spaced because of Steph. We have AD at the rim and Draymond doing everything. And I really can be in, the Magic Johnson role
he would play the role he played with Team USA.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's exactly right.
I don't know how much the floor would be spread, but Steph would be running on, because you got Draymond and AD. But Steph is going to be running off picks and things like that.
And when Pods, you know what I mean? One other shooter out there would be spread enough.
Yeah.
Steph by himself creates some spacing. I think.
I hope it happens.
My power ranking of where I want LeBron to go now falls like this: Golden State, if AD's there as well, followed by Miami, followed by Cleveland, followed by Golden State without AD, and then in last place the Lakers. Still, the Lakers are probably the smart money bet, but that to me is the least fun spot for LeBron.
I don't hate that.
The other contract news, and I don't know if it matters at all, Harden also opted out, but is expected to extend probably at a lower number. Again, I'm not sure how that impacts this.
Okay. Talking about the new chapters in the Jaylen Brown saga, even though an analytics guy told Bobby Marks he's the 7th best player on a team, Jaylen, not Bobby Marks. Denver might make him the 2nd best player.
Oh, my God. That's insane.
Friend of the show, Bill Simmons, outlining a potential trade that sends Jaylen Brown and Sam Hauser to Denver for Jamal Murray and Cam Johnson. Bro, do you like this idea?
I like it for Denver. I love it for Denver. As great as Jamal Murray has been for them, Jaylen Brown is a better player. He can give you the offense of Murray, although, Murray is a
different
fantastic
type of
shooter in the mid-range and three. But Brown can give you the point production and will do it more consistently than Jamal Murray did. And then he's such an upgrade defensively, and that's where Denver needs the most improvement. So if I'm Denver, I'm doing it. If I'm Boston, I am not. Because Jamal Murray, like I said, his defensive struggles, I think when you look at that roster, you have a Derek White, a Jason Tatum, who are good defenders. You got some little size that can protect the rim. But I think that team takes a significant downgrade defensively. And they have plenty of shooting. I'm not saying you don't want shooting. You do. But a guy like Jaylen Brown, who can shoot but is more of a slasher, I think that's good for them. Jamal would be just one more shooter, a great one. He's better than anybody on that team except Tatum. I just don't think that makes them better. In fact, I think that makes Boston take a step back. So, I think Denver takes a step forward, Boston a step back in this deal.
Yeah, I would not like this for Boston. I would rather, if I'm trading Jaylen Brown, and I think they're trading Jaylen Brown, I think we are now at the portion of they feel like they may have to take the best offer, like that they are approaching where they're not sure it's tenable to bring him back.
Really?
Seems like that. And the fact that they are shopping, so openly shopping him, that's, again, the reading the tea leaves of it, that's what it seems like to me. I would rather get multiple role players than Jamal Murray for Boston. That sounds cutting to Jamal Murray. I'm saying
some of there
have been a bunch of the other team Simmons brought up is one I brought up a bunch. Danny brought up when you were out Portland. And it wasn't so much, you scoffed at the scoop piece of it, but it was, Drew Holiday potentially clinging, guys that can be starting caliber NBA players, but are not top 30 players like Jamal Murray. Mm-hmm. I think for Boston, that might be better. For Denver, KW, I filed this news in the same bucket as, so remember last offseason when Joker didn't sign his extension and everybody said, of course not, because he can get more money by signing it this offseason. And now all of a sudden Mark Stein's like, he might not sign it this offseason, which, by the way, if he doesn't sign an extension this offseason, he is a free agent, not in 2 years, in 1 year. And for the first time in almost a decade, we haven't had an All-NBA player hit free agency since 2019. So I think the last All-NBA player to hit free agency, LeBron was 2018. But so since the summer after LeBron went to the Lakers. So that would be, to me, that would signal if Denver does this, that they feel like they need to do something to not appease Joker, but to make things better to where Joker feels confident. But for Boston, I agree with everything Bruce said. If Jamal Murray gives you something you already have a surplus of, which is shooting and perimeter scoring.
All right, we are counting down to Brazil, Japan, 1 o'clock on Fox from Houston. Brazil is the only country to play in every World Cup. Earliest exit was a round 16 loss 36 years ago. Vinny Jr. trying to prevent that from happening at 1 o'clock today against Japan. Sneaky upset alert. Be careful.
I will not be careful.
We're going to have a great show tomorrow, I'll say that much.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The empty seat. Who was actually just that, an empty chair in your office because you couldn't find someone to fill it. So it just sat there costing you money with all its fancy ergonomic features. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can make it easy to fill that seat with the right candidate. With nearly 60% of businesses finding someone to interview in the first week alone. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Welcome back to First Things First, counting down to Germany, Paraguay from Boston. Just under 6 hours today at 4:30 on Fox. Germany had 11 wins in a row before they lost to Ecuador. It was largely a meaningless game, but it did snap their win streak. So we'll see if they can get back on track against Paraguay at 4:30. Joining us now, Dax McCarty. Dax, welcome. Brazil-Japan today at 1. Dax has been a skeptic. Nick has been a believer. Fox broadcaster Darren Fletcher, a realist, when he said this was not the strongest of historically strong Brazil teams. We discussed that on the show, and Darren addressed it on the broadcast of Argentina-Jordan. Take a listen.
Just be careful tonight what you say, because Nick Wright is watching. I made a comment last week about Brazil, which was blown out of all kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, proportion. But Nick and the team are watching, and if you step out of line tonight, he's going to pick you up on.
It wasn't me, it was you. You said Brazil can win. I think they can.
Well, definitely. I didn't say they can't win. I just said it was the worst Brazil team I'd seen in the World Cup finals. And I meant not the worst team here. The worst Brazilian team I'd seen. I'm thinking about 82 with Zico and Socrates and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. But I do think any team that's got Carlo at the helm and they've got Gabriel, Alisson, Marquinhos, Vinny Jr.
Don't you start. He put me away the other day.
Those guys are the best.
All right. Also commenting on our walk-in video as Nick again was expounding on.
Really? This is breaking news.
I should be there. Love it.
Open invite anytime.
Absolutely.
But we would love to have, Darren, we would love to have you on tomorrow morning discussing the inevitable Brazil victory.
Or the other way. We'll find out.
And in case he didn't see the full thing from before, I do, and you guys can back me up on this. Prior to any of this, I had talked unrelated about how Fletch and Hargreaves are my favorite duo.
This is true.
Watch them in Champions League. I think they are so great together. And I appreciated Owen being like, not letting him off the hook. Like, no, buddy, you did say they were the worst Brazil team in years and are underrated.
Couldn't win.
Yeah, couldn't win. Can't win. Yeah.
So with all that being said, Nick, we'll go to you.
Wow.
Is Brazil on upset alert today against Japan?
What did you say when we were going into break, KW? They haven't been eliminated before the final 8 in 8 straight World Cups.
It's a long time ago.
In 30s. No, it's 8 consecutive that they have not lost before the final 8.
But I don't think that's necessary. I mean, it's just a historical factoid.
Oh, right. So
I don't think it's necessarily germane to this team, which I've heard is one of the weaker Brazilian teams of all time.
Okay, well, but it would have to be the weakest of all time, is my point. I do think it's germane that everyone who is on this Brazil team that has World Cup experience has made it always to the quarterfinals or further.
Sure.
I think that Fletch's point, or that Owen's point, is exactly mine. Everyone is focused on their attacking players. When they should be focused on the fact that despite an injury to one of their defenders, they still have one of the best goalkeepers in the world in Alisson, Gabriel and Marquinhos as 2 of the best defenders, and maybe the best manager in the whole tournament. And that speaks to the fact that through 3 games, here is the 1 goal Brazil has allowed this tournament. It was not like, a set piece where they got eaten up. It was not a bunch of where defenders. Listen, it's a great play by Morocco.
That's a great goal.
It's a great goal. It's a great play by Morocco more than it is a failure by Brazil. And it also speaks to the fact that in 270 minutes of World Cup play, when their defense has been set, they have allowed 0 goals. And how's their scoring going? If you looked at, Josh told me that, you know what the big stat in soccer is? It's not just goals, expected goals. Okay, well, this is their overall stats. So they are, one of the best teams. They're not number 1 in anything, but expected goals this tournament. So they have a great defense. Expected goals amongst the 5 favorites. Brazil, 7.5. England and France at 6. Argentina just under 6. Spain just over 5. So if you want to say Brazil's going to come up against Argentina in the semis and get beat by a better team. Or even if you want to say they're not going to get there because England's going to beat them in the quarters. I'll disagree with that, but that's, to me, of course, valid. It's incomprehensible that Brazil loses this early in this tournament. They literally never have, and they're not going to today against a good, but a Japan team whose players experience the exact opposite. They've never won a knockout round game in their country's history or for any of these guys.
Dax, can I just make a counter argument and then you can
I would love for you to make
be
a
the
counter
judge. Japan has beaten Brazil in a friendly last year.
Right.
And Brazil had 7 guys who was a friendly, don't get me wrong, but it's not nothing. Japan had 14 guys experience beating Brazil that are now on that roster. Brazil had 7. So you could say hey, Brazil didn't have their full team. But those guys have gone on the field and beaten Brazil. Here's how these teams lined up in the group stage. And Brazil has a lot of great stats, but here's Japan. They've both scored 7 goals. Japan has allowed 3. Brazil's allowed 1. Possession, very similar. The interesting part here is Brazil has scored 6 goals in the first half. We can argue whether they took their foot off the gas in some of the games in the second half or else they just had such a good lead. They didn't need to press.
Right.
Japan is okay. I don't know how many games they were behind, but they have 5 goals in the second half, so they will come on strong late. Both teams are undefeated. Brazil beat Haiti 3-0 and beat Scotland 3-0. So neither of them have lost. Japan has beaten them in a friendly, and their stats are very similar. I'm not saying no, you might as well say it.
Yeah, go say it.
Say it.
Japan will beat Brazil today with our first major upset of the knockout round.
Wow.
Fletch, you're okay. I think you had a strong take. You didn't need to apologize.
I love when you let the tiger out.
That wasn't really a tiger. That wasn't really a whole tiger. But I just think
you went.
I think this could. I can see this happening.
We are in a reality where tomorrow, potentially, Mr. Wright walks in here distraught. Distraught at the use of the word incomprehensible that Brazil would lose this game today. I fully disagree and push back on that because I think upset alert is absolutely appropriate for this fixture. And if I had any spine and backbone, I would back you fully.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, because my pessimism.
Okay, no, but we want you above the fray.
Is that
we don't want you in the muck.
I'm trying to be above the fray, and I think that all of the historical context that you guys laid out with regard to Brazil and how they have been in the last World Cups, and Japan and the friendly that they won, which, by the way, was without Cunha starting the game and without Gabriel and without Marquinhos.
Yeah, well, that's the
not a ton to take away from that.
They're friendlies.
Friendly.
I understand that. I said there's only 7 guys there.
But it's in that friendly, 10 of Japan's starters are starting for them today. And in that friendly, you said 7 of Brazil's players are on the roster. I think 2 are starting for them today. So it was very similar to Turkey beating the U.S.'s B team.
Yeah, there's not
I don't think it's. I don't think.
You don't think? I think it is germane to the fact that we were on the I've been on the pitch and we have beaten a team in yellow jerseys to save Brazil. So it's not nothing.
My reasons for being pessimistic about Brazil coming into this tournament were, I think, a lack of creativity and dynamism in that midfield with Guimarães, Casemiro, and Paquetá. Guimarães and Paquetá have been excellent as the tournament has gone on. They have shown a little bit more, let's say, creativity, ingenuity to create chances for Brazil. And Vini Jr., he's never really performed at the level that I would expect of a world-class superstar, the way that he has for Real Madrid when he has worn that yellow shirt of Brazil.
Still this tournament.
He has been unequivocally one of the top 3 players in this tournament. Carlo Ancelotti, one of the top 3 managers in this tournament. My big thing with Brazil was their performance against Morocco, which Morocco, I think, is a very good team. I think Morocco should have won that game, which is why my pessimism with Brazil has kind of stayed there. And I'll posit you guys this. Brazil has gotten stronger as the tournament has gone on. They've gotten better. Now, Haiti, Scotland, I don't think the strongest of competition. If Brazil, let's flip-flop the results. If Brazil played Morocco on the last match day of the group stage in that 3rd game, I think Brazil wins that game because they are getting stronger. Vinny is getting stronger. And Brazil, I think Ancelotti is figuring out what makes this team tick. And it is bringing in Cunha, like we've said before, as a false 9 to be able to dictate things in attack and open things up for Vinny Jr. This Japanese team, they do not have, I think, the athletic ability of Brazil. They're not going to physically be able to dominate the game. I think Brazil has the edge in coaching and set pieces. But this Japan team is going to play a very similar game to how the Morocco game went. Now, I think Brazil has more quality in the final third, but Nick is like incomprehensible.
I would be utterly shocked.
I would not be shocked, and I love the upset alert. I think this game is extremely close. I think it's a 1-goal difference, but I think more realistically, this game is a draw coming out of regular time, going into extra time, potentially going to penalties. I can't in good faith pick against Brazil in this scenario because I do think Brazil wins the game, but I would not be shocked, and I would even be like, that makes sense if Japan comes out victorious.
Yeah, I'm thinking Brazil will win. I expect them to win, but I do think it is a real legitimate upset alert. Like, I don't think it's going to be a rout like you said.
As legitimate as Curacao against Germany?
That was a tough one. That was, some are just prayers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if Japan wins this. They've already played a top team in the Netherlands. I mean, not Brazil, and had a draw with them. So they've shown that they can play with the top level competition. So this is going to be a tough one for Brazil.
I want to give one last prediction. When Brazil wins 2-1, or maybe 3-1 with an extra late goal, KW tomorrow will come in and somehow be unimpressed. That's my prediction. My prediction is that they will win close, and because all soccer games are close, and you're going to explain why that actually wasn't that good.
I was only unimpressed when they didn't score in the second half against Haiti. That's the only time I was thoroughly unimpressed. Because they were supposed to score and they didn't score.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, I could be wrong. You can prove me wrong tomorrow. You can prove me wrong.
I can prove you wrong 2 ways. I actually have 2 bets on the board.
Yeah, exactly.
One, Japan wins. 2, I just come in unimpressed.
Yeah, exactly. I win. It's a free win for you.
Exactly. Argentina was already through, and Messi didn't start, but he did come on the 60th minute and, of course, scored in the 80th. First player to score in 7 straight World Cup games. It's his 19th career World Cup goal. Brew, what was your reaction to Messi's goal?
I loved him going into that game and playing. I much rather that attitude, and I like this guy, so I'm not trying to knock him down, but I just didn't, what Haaland did, Erling Haaland again, in the game against France, like sitting out. This might be, I know he's saying it won't be, but this might be Messi's last World Cup. Maximize it. Get out, maximize it. Not only give the fans what they want, but he's trying to raise that goal total as high as you can to keep Mbappe and all these guys from ever catching it. Like, I loved it. Obviously, he looked great, but I just like the mentality of him not resting, even at his age, and not saying, you know what, I don't need to play this game. Going out there and playing and being effective. So, yeah, I was good with it.
Yeah, I was shocked when it came out before the game that he wasn't going to start, but I think it was absolutely, unequivocally the right decision. And similar to the U.S. men's national team fully rotating when they had the group completely locked up, I think for Argentina, it was an absolute no-brainer because Argentina is, for all intents and purposes, you could quibble here and there about a couple different teams. They have the most depth in the entire World Cup. And you want to get those players, I think, a little bit more game time to get a little bit sharper. And, again, they're playing against one of the most overmatched teams in the entire competition in Jordan. And I still think if Argentina is going to repeat, if they're going to become one of the first teams to repeat in whatever it is, 40 or 50 years, winning the World Cup back-to-back, they are going to have to rely on other players not named Lionel Messi. We know what Lionel Messi is capable of. He is proving that game in, game out. They are going to need Julian Alvarez or Lautaro Martinez to step up at some point if Messi and his otherworldly capabilities are not going to be able to produce in a moment, or a team just says, Lionel Messi's not going to beat us. Every time he gets the ball, we're going to throw one or two defenders at him, and we are going to make another player beat us. And so I think it was absolutely the right decision. As far as the goal, I believe now this is 7 consecutive games where he has scored a World Cup goal. Yeah. I think he would be number 5 all-time on the all-time World Cup Golden Boot list. After the age of 35, the guy is playing at an absolutely incredible level. As far as this goal, unimpressed. What are we doing, Jordanian goalkeeper? Why don't you're standing in the middle of the goal, and if you have watched Messi at all the last couple of years, he actually favors on free kicks and set pieces going to the goalkeeper's side because they know how dangerous he is going over the wall. He prefers power to the goalkeeper's side. I think it's an absolutely ridiculous display of goalkeeping. Oh, wow. Alas, I do not want to take anything away from
that was
Lionel
a common refrain online from some people that aren't super into soccer.
Well, it's completely.
So I thought there was something more. I'm like, no, I'm sure.
It's terrible goalkeeping. And the Jordanian goalkeeper conceded a goal exactly like that to Lo Celso in the first half.
Tough one.
I digress. I think Argentina did the right thing. I think Scaloni did the right thing. Lionel Messi is going to be rested, motivated for the knockout rounds.
So I saw this from when I said the sports book. I was at the Hard Rock Casino in Miami this weekend, having just gone to the game. Right after, so I didn't see the first half of this game. And then, so shortly after I started watching this game, he scores this goal. And so when he scored, I was thinking about what I just watched from Cristiano Ronaldo. And the two performances and their two players and the two World Cups seemed inextricably linked in that 12 groups, 11 favorites won their group. The one that didn't, Portugal.
Right.
Messi leading the Golden Boot competition and, not playing the first 60 minutes and then coming on and adding something. Ronaldo, on the other hand, the only player on Portugal who has not been subbed out. And again, I'm not trying to act like I can X's and O's diagram what's happening, but watching that Portugal-Colombia game, Cristiano Ronaldo seemed to me to be one of the least effective players. Our guy who is a soccer expert, other than Dax, Josh, says Foot Mob, it's like their version of Football Reference, rates every player every game. Ronaldo was the lowest rated player on Portugal that game. And I do think this graphic here is not sustainable. Because when I saw Messi, I thought of Ronaldo, which is oldest guys in the World Cup, how many minutes they've played.
Yeah.
All of them have gotten some level of rest. And the one who's played the second most, Luka Modric, his team, they don't have the depth that Portugal has, obviously. And so my reaction thinking of it was, just these two all-time legends World Cups keep going in totally different directions.
Argentina takes on Cape Verde Friday at 6 on Fox. We're counting down to Brazil, Japan. That one's going to be at 1 o'clock. The winner
I'm watching from
of that game might be Japan, might be Brazil. We'll take on the winner of Ivory Coast, Norway.
Ivory Coast, whoever wins Ivory Coast, Norway, if you guys want to come on then and say it's upset alert, I'll buy it. Whoever wins that team,
well, that will be
good. I've got Norway on upset alert.
Yeah.
You got Norway on upset alert.
Against Ivory.
The African nations have been great.
Yep. Yeah. 9 out of 10 advance.
Yeah, the African nations have been awesome.
I've got Norway. Norway soured. First things first, soured on Norway.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
NFL.com roundtable on best QB pass catcher combo. Matt Ocado writing that the New England duo will be the best. Maye was a couple of votes from winning MVP last year.
People forget that.
Despite lacking in weaponry, now he's got a true number one receiver in A.J. Brown. Logged consecutive 1,400-yard seasons before tensions and discontent rose in Philly. It's a great fit for Maye's arm and McDaniel's offense. McDaniel's genius. Going in Canton. I expect the combo to thrive after this win-win union in New England. Brew, do you want to go first? If you're positive.
Yeah, go Brew, you, me.
I'll be more positive.
Do you think AJ and Drake will be the best?
I think they will thrive, as the article said. I think they're going to be a great connection. And when I look at some of the other top quarterback receiver groups, you got Burrow and Jamar, but you also got T. Higgins. You got Dak and CeeDee Lamb, but you also have George Pickens. You got Stafford and Puka, but you also have Devontae Adams. So if you just talk about 1-2, now you got Darnold and JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. There's a lot of thought to say, you know what? I am going to say Drake and AJ. However, I will not. While I think they'll be one of the best, I hesitate to say the best because of this graphic. Wow. Last year against winning teams.
Oh, no.
And that includes the playoffs.
Oh, no.
Look at the drop that Drake Maye had.
I'm on your side.
Completion percentage is darn near Caleb-esque, not quite there. But the yards per game dropped significantly. Passer rating from, 118
this includes
to
the
86.
Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, but you play winning teams. Last year they only played, obviously, 7 games against winning teams, and that included the playoff game.
4 playoff games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so only 3 in the regular season. This year, 11 games against teams with winning records. Now, you could say he didn't have an A.J. Brown that last year. True. So I think those two will be great together. But I am not going to say they'll be the number one duo because he has to show. Drake literally has to show. As great as he was last year, he has to show us he can do it against top-flight competition.
Yeah. Just quickly on that before I get to my take. It is Drake Maye's fault that, the Ravens weren't a winning team. So part of that is Drake Maye's fault. He beat the team. They have become not a winning team.
Had a
and then the graphic is
schedule or historically easy schedule.
It was historically easy, and they did end up in the Super Bowl. Both things are true. Okay. I firmly believe that they will be the best duo. And here's what I found interesting, and you give me your reaction to this.
Yeah.
Usually, I just did yards, just because of what am I going to pick? And top 5 quarterbacks total yards: Stafford, Goff, Dak, Drake, Darnold. So it usually goes hand in hand with your best receiving yards. Yeah. So Stafford was 1 in quarterback yards. Puka was 2 in receiving yards. Goff was 2 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown was 5. Dak was 3. Pickens was 3. Darnold was 5. JSN was 1. Drake was 4. Stephon was 16.
Right.
So I just feel like all he has to do is move top I don't know, he should be, the way that the stats are supposed to work, he should be top 5. And if he's already 4th best in yards, I think it's such an upgrade from Stephon, who I do like, to AJ. I feel like this will push him to number 1.
So listen, Brew made this about more focused on Drake. I have more questions about AJ Brown than I do Drake Maye. I think the 4 best receivers in football argue on the order: Justin Jefferson, JSN, Jamar Chase, and Puka Nacua. I think there are then 5 guys who can argue that they are the fifth. You mentioned some CD, Pickens probably make an argument, Amon-Ra, Devontae Smith right now might feel like it. AJ Brown certainly is, in that argument. But I am less convinced. I'm not saying I'm predicting this. I'm less convinced than you guys are that AJ Brown is still an elite receiver. I think he's still definitely a good receiver. Is he still an elite receiver? Because this is a stunning blind reveal.
Oh, wow.
So it's stunning in part because those are identical numbers, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't, even big plays, touchdowns, yards within. The person on the right, I venture to say, in the history of this show, we've never said his name.
Is he a current player or?
It's from last year.
2025
season. We could spend the rest of the show saying guest receivers.
Yeah, I want
to. Would just reveal it.
I don't want it. I don't want it revealed yet. I close my eyes. Is it up? Is it up?
Yes.
What team is it, bro?
It's the Arizona Cardinals, and I don't want to embarrass you.
Is it Trey McBride?
No. If I gave you his last name, I don't think you know his first name. It's Michael Wilson. Is my point.
Wilson.
So my point is that last year AJ Brown, you can't be like, AJ Brown didn't, had bad quarterback play. This was Kyler who got benched in Jacoby.
Right.
Huh.
And
I'll be honest with you. Right now I'm being exposed of not. Yeah, he can. He's like AJ Brown of the West.
So
shout out to Michael Wilson. So why weren't we targeting him?
That's my point. So my only point is, if the Patriots had signed Michael Wilson,
rock with this guy.
Drake Maye, Michael Wilson are going to be the best duo in the NFL this year, we'd probably be like, no. So
I like Wilson. Dude. I've been talking about Wilson. You don't listen to my podcast. I do Cardinals Watch.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my only
People
concern.
call me up like, what's going on in the nest?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're talking Wilson. Yeah. Okay. No, I wasn't. Patriots open up against the Seahawks September 9th. There's the USA going on a deep World Cup run, and we are counting down to Brazil, Japan. A lot of people are saying this is an upset alert. Tomorrow, if it happens, I will break out my copywritten phrase. Houston, we have a problem. Brazil was upset by Japan. That's in 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 22 seconds. Shout out to Wilson.
Comcast is delivering extraordinary experiences in live sports. Through the incredible broadcast and storytelling from NBC, innovative and personalized viewing features on Xfinity and Peacock, and the country's most reliable Wi-Fi, viewers can enjoy every game-changing play faster and more seamlessly than ever. All on a network built to deliver unforgettable moments as close to live as possible. The ultimate experience for the American sports fan. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com/sports.
Not locked in, just like Brazil. I'm telling you guys. Not locked
so
in.
Just locked a little, in. So locked in on what we're about to do. I didn't realize segment was started.
Exactly. Looking forward. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Looking forward right here.
Looking forward to like, hey, what's next? All of a sudden, Japan, boom, 1-0 right out of the gate. Oh, what's going on? Upset alert.
Definitely alert.
Definitely alert. Thank you for your support. And Dax, tentative support. Second hour, first things first. Today's Brazil on upset alert. Today against Japan. Already beat him in a friendly. Could it happen again? Maybe. Meanwhile, would LeBron, Steph, AD, Draymond, and Steve Kerr work?
Since the show has started, this has gained more momentum. We probably should
from years ago, or like just today's episode?
Since today's episode.
With Draymond's decision
Since Draymond's decision is a real data point.
Yep.
I love this with all my heart and soul, but right now, we're going back to the World Cup. The knockout round of the World Cup underway. Canada already advancing to the round of 16 with a win yesterday over South Africa. Here's how the full bracket looks.
Looks all amazing. Canada's already there.
Also,
beautiful.
As much as I loved the group stage and the action, following it, a little more complicated than so. This is my wheelhouse right here, bro.
The addition of third place teams making this has made, in my opinion, the knockout round is going to be even greater, but it made projecting how the bracket was going to fall almost impossible. I tried to do it all last week. KW told me to keep stopping. He was right.
In March Madness, we say Elite Eight. Today, we'll say, who do you have in your quarterfinals?
Forward. Yep. All right. So just go ahead and reveal my quarterfinals, and then we will go through it, how I got there and why. So France gets there by beating Germany in one of the best round of 16 games ever, potentially. Morocco, I think, is going to beat Netherlands today and then have an easier round 2 matchup against Canada and advance. Spain, I think Spain actually is not going to have to go through Portugal to get there. I think they're going to have to go through Croatia because I think Croatia is going to upset Portugal, and I think the U.S. is going to, advance, beating probably Senegal, maybe Belgium. Brazil, no shocker, guys. And by the way, when this game is played, they'll have Rafinha back, and nobody's talking about that. Probably the biggest upset on my page there. Mexico, in Mexico City, gets to the quarterfinals by beating England. And in one of the most raucous environments in World Cup history, I anticipate. Argentina coasts there, and Colombia, again, a little, maybe Dak said it to me off the air, maybe a little biased because I watched them in person, and even though they didn't score, I thought they were amazing.
They were.
I think they look really good. So there's my final 8. To get to the semifinal, the first team in a rematch of the 2022 semifinals, Morocco going for revenge. They don't get it. France wins. France too good. France advances to the semis. Spain, USA. In the biggest game in American soccer history, Christian Pulisic, Lamine Yamal, a chance to shock the world. We do not. Spain and Lamine Yamal, fully healthy, are too much. Brazil, Mexico. Mexico, for the first time in the tournament, not playing in Mexico. Brazil, as I mentioned, getting healthier. Brazil advances. And, again, I think Colombia is really good, but I don't think they're good enough to beat Argentina. And we have Argentina over Colombia. My World Cup final is France versus Brazil, and Brazil denies France their opportunity to win 2 in 3 years, and Brazil wins the World Cup. Okay. And I can give you some other graphics later in the show about that.
Yeah, just a deep sigh with the Brazil take. They are making me more of a believer as the tournament wears on. I still do not think that they have enough to go and beat the absolute best teams in the world, which France are. But I don't have a ton of problems with the bracket. I really don't. I do believe in this World Cup. Once you get past the group stage, kind of to your point earlier, when you have the knockout rounds come up, now you're going to see, I think, the best out of every big team. And when you see that, I do not believe Brazil is going to make the final. I don't even think Brazil is going to make the semifinal. In fact, why don't we pull up exactly the same situation with my bracket, and I will walk you through what I see. I believe, other than Mexico and England, me and Nick have the exact same bracket.
because I have Morocco beating Netherlands.
You have Morocco beating the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I have Netherlands beating Morocco in what I agree with Nick will be one of the best round of 32
games. Do you
games.
think France is in any risk against Germany in the round of 16?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't. I think France is the best team in the competition, and I do think France beats the Netherlands, although I don't think it's going to be straightforward. I actually think that this will be one of the most difficult games France plays en route to what I do believe will be them going on in this competition very far. But the Netherlands has impressed me. The Netherlands has a fantastic midfield, and my big question mark with them was who's going to score their goals. Brian Broby has come in and been a really excellent focal point for what I think has been a very dynamic team in the final third. And I do believe that Netherlands is going to give France a much more difficult game than I think Germany will. Spain, USA.
Come on,
Will
man.
the U.S. come up with a historic upset? By the way, this game, I hope this game happens, because if it does, to Nick's point, not only will it be the biggest game in U.S. soccer history, it will be the most watched soccer game in the history of television.
That's
in the
cool.
U.S.
In the US. Yes,
in the U.S.
absolutely.
Not going to be bigger than the World Cup final, but you will have your grandfather, who absolutely despises soccer, tuning into that game because of what it means. My grandfather. I apologize. Not yours. I wasn't looking at you. I was looking at the wall.
Your
I was looking at grandfather's
Hold on. Does your grandfather better not despise soccer? His son played for 19 years. Yeah, no, sorry. Go ahead.
They love soccer.
You're really revealing a lot.
Both grandfathers
I was just kidding.
love soccer.
I'm kidding. Go ahead, as you were.
They love other sports. Yeah. They do love soccer. And so I think that the U.S. ends up losing that game. Spain is going to win, so we see France and Spain in the semifinal. Brazil, your run comes to an end. To England, I haven't even been that impressed with England. This is one of those that you just kind of have a feeling that the English are going to get better in the knockout rounds. I don't believe that they were impressive for one half. So 5 out of 6 halves.
Is that a managerial issue? Is that
I think it's a little bit of both. I think
this is what we do. We draw. Like, what the heck?
No, I think Thomas Tuchel backed himself into a corner with some of his selections. They haven't looked that impressive in terms of their creativity against a low block. That's where players like Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, you can absolutely ask questions about why they are not on this roster. But I do believe in England they have 2 bona fide match winners in Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, who has started to play a lot better. And Jude Bellingham, I think, is starting to hit form at the right time for this English national team. And there's just something about England in terms of their winger depth. I think Rashford and Saka are going to play a lot better in the knockout phases. I just think England is going to beat Brazil in what will be a very competitive game. And honestly, that one for me is a 50-50 toss-up. But I'm going England to beat Brazil.
Wow.
England to beat Mexico. I actually don't even think Mexico beats Ecuador. So, hot take.
Wow.
Mexico has not been challenged in this World Cup. I think Ecuador beats Mexico. And so then if we get to the bottom of the graphic, where Argentina-Colombia, this is going to be an absolute blockbuster game in the quarterfinals. And while I think Argentina has looked like one of the best teams in the tournament along with France, Colombia against Portugal, I thought the Colombia performance against what would be another bona fide contender in Portugal.
And a desperate team, a team that needed to win.
A desperate team against Portugal, playing their strongest team. Colombia was excellent. And if it wasn't for Davinson Sanchez not clipping his toenail and VAR correctly chalking off that goal, then Colombia not only beats Portugal, but they do it in dominating fashion. Colombia is a team that I think grossly underrated coming into this tournament. And if you go through their history with Argentina in the last 2 years, especially World Cup qualifying, Argentina had a historic World Cup qualifying campaign, and Colombia took 4 points off them. They drew with them in Argentina, beat them in Colombia. I think Colombia wins that game.
Nice.
In a very close game.
Wow.
I do not think Argentina repeats.
Dak's opinions
Maybe
are
wrong.
so influential that it made our graphics team think Nick also has to think Colombia is beating Argentina.
Exactly right.
They're like, he's got to agree with that one.
Now you're covered either
So
way.
your final 4 is France, Spain, England, Colombia.
Exactly right.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for Colombia not having a bona fide striker that I trust, I think James Rodriguez has been good in this tournament, not great. Luis Diaz has been excellent. I think he's a match winner for them. I just think Colombia is a really balanced team, but because they don't have a striker that they can rely on, Luis Suarez, John Cordoba, they're good players. I think that England takes them down. And I think France-Spain, I think France with Olise, Dembele, and Mbappe is just too strong. By the way, Spain hasn't conceded a goal in this tournament. We talk about defending all the time. Spain's got one of the best backlines in the tournament. I think France wins that game. And I think France takes down England
back to back.
We're just locked
in a World Cup final. France is, for me, easily the best team in the tournament, the most balanced team in the tournament, top to bottom. And they don't just have 1 or 2 ways to beat you. They can beat you in a myriad of different ways. And I think Mbappe ends up overtaking Lionel Messi for the Golden Boot in this World Cup.
In this
World Cup, not overall. It's going to take Mbappe.
Oh, not overall.
Not overall. It's going to take him
back or 3 back now.
I think he's 3 back now, but it's going to take him another World Cup to, I think, overtake Messi in the overall lead. But France takes it.
Do you think this would be considered if England got to the final and came up short?
Just another heartbreak.
Just
That's what they do.
devastation.
Yeah. That's what England
does. It would be nice
Always
because they have been the last 4 World Cups, they haven't performed well.
That's what.
So it would be nice that they didn't have a horrible early defeat.
Yep.
But
getting so close.
I think actually, if power ranking England, this is how I feel about the U.S. as well. Actually, power ranking how you would want the World Cup to end. In first place is winning it.
Sure.
Second place for the U.S. and England, in my opinion, losing the semis. Third place is losing the final. Losing the semis as opposed to, get that close.
If we got to if U.S., you think about USA?
I'm saying if the U.S. got to the semis, played France and lost, it's an A triple plus tournament.
Sure.
If we get all the way to the final and we're like, oh my God, we're going to win the World Cup. And lose, it's like an A plus as opposed to A triple plus.
I'd rather get to the final.
That's probably right. But as far as just heartbreak,
that's generally how you. So what? Can I just get my final?
They'll show your full graphic and then we can discuss
the
it.
Graphic. It's a mix of what you guys had. I got Morocco getting there. Yeah, like Nick. But Spain and you see, I got Spain unfortunately taking down the USA, France of course. I've got England beating your Brazil.
Oh, my goodness.
Nick, and Argentina. So I got Spain and Argentina in the final. So I do have, look, you talked about how tough Spain's defense is. Yamal back to full strength, which we're expecting. I think that'll be enough to take down France and enough to take down Argentina. There's a passing of the torch from Messi to Yamal in the championship.
I like that a lot.
That is the second, according to Vegas, most likely final, Spain-Argentina. The most likely is France-Argentina. But that would be
third most likely? France-England.
That's correct. Listen, it was maybe the greatest soccer game ever played, the France-Argentina World Cup final last year. But it would be nice. I think it'd be cool to see if Argentina's going to make it, then play someone new and play Spain.
Dust, do we have mine? Because me and Dax are
locked in.
Mind meld with one tiny exception that, you know what, Dax is going to see mine and be like, Wilds, I wish I had the spine like you.
Ivory.
I like yours better.
U.S.
France, Netherlands, France. I got France going all the way. Spain, USA. We need a little bit of magic. But have we seen enough magic so far? Have we scored the most goals? Is it on our home soil? We beat Spain and then run into France.
I like your bracket better than mine.
Ivory Coast takes down Japan.
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't even take down Brazil. You have Brazil losing today.
That's right. So Ivory Coast beats Norway, who we're just totally out on because we were excited for France, Norway, and they don't want it. The little Tin Man mode from Norway. Then Ivory Coast said, oh my goodness, we don't have to play Brazil. Japan's riding high. It's their first knockout win. They have a little bit of a letdown. Ivory Coast goes and they meet England. England ends up, we all have Argentina, Colombia. England and Harry Kane take down Argentina, who's just a little, it's hard to repeat. England, France, and I have Vive la France as the
I love that.
We all have Spain, U.S., and Argentina, Colombia.
Yeah.
Those we all, and I'm the only person that has Brazil making the semis, let alone winning.
If we were going power rankings based on this bracket, I'd go Wilds first.
Let's
go.
Me
and Brew tied for second.
And
Nick
me
third.
last. Yeah, that's fine. That's no problem.
You did have a chance to do this.
You're
right. You're playing conservative football.
It's reverse psychology. We're going to motivate the Americans.
All right, we are counting. We've got 3 knockout games today. We've got more on LeBron and Steph possibly going to the Warriors. So right now, here's James Corden. Oh, right now, here's Germany, Paraguay from Boston. That's coming up in 5 hours. And then here's James Corden.
Time for the next challenge, finding the World Cup trophy. Hidden within this ball pond, somewhere, is a replica of the World Cup trophy. The first to find it wins the points. 3, 2, 1, go.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro cat food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
Welcome back to First Things First, 9 hours and 31 minutes. Netherlands, Morocco, Hakimi. Getting fired up for this game. Nick, who do you have in this one?
Morocco. This is the one. I have the two favorites in the early games. I have Brazil comfortably. And keep in mind, in soccer, comfortable can be one goal. Germany.
Yeah, it's more of a feel.
Yeah, feel. Like, or they, you know what I mean? Like the, but I think Morocco wins. I think Morocco beats the Netherlands.
We're headed to the NBA. Imagine this as next year's Warriors squad. Steph's 39, LeBron's 41. He'd come over as a free agent. Draymond is 36. AD is 33. He'd be traded for Jimmy Butler. And Draymond already making a move that would help facilitate this idea come to life. He's declining his about $28 million player option to help facilitate LeBron and AD acquisitions. So you can react to that news and then talk about, would this actually work if it happened?
My reaction is, so credit where it's due, prior to all of this, starting like 6 weeks ago, Bill Simmons kept saying that he thought this was not only a very real possibility, but that this is where he was leaning was the most likely outcome. LeBron going to Golden State. I think I said on the show when we talked about LeBron going to Golden State a month ago that it would be fun, it could be cool, but they can't compete. And I threw in as an aside, unless they go get someone like Anthony Davis. Because AD, I do think, is available. Like the reason the Wizards were able to trade for him for so little was because the Mavs didn't want to give him the contract extension, and they probably just wanted to clean their hands of anything Luka trade related. Mm-hmm. But I think there will be real squeamishness for any team to give him a max contract extension, even though when he plays, he is, in my opinion, still a max player. Yeah. But the age and the injuries have been so overwhelming.
Rarely plays.
Right.
He played 29 games since he was traded for Luka.
Right. So, which is in a season and a third or season and a half. Would it work? Again, this is the ultimate if healthy. But if healthy, I think absolutely. Now, work doesn't mean
working is the championship.
I think working is legitimate. We all watch them play and we say, oh, that team can win the title. Like, that is, to me, when I say absolutely a top-tier contender. I'm not saying they absolutely would win the title. I wouldn't say that really about any team. But I think that if you're competing with San Antonio, first and foremost, and Anthony Davis, Draymond front line to deal with Wemby, I think is very interesting. And if you're competing with Oklahoma City, I think that is a clunkier fit as far as how this team would compete with them. But just the overwhelming kind of experience and savvy of LeBron and Steph, I think would give them more than a puncher's chance. I wouldn't put it like I think they would be able to go toe to toe. And right now it seems like there's a lot of dominoes falling in place where this is a legitimate, real possibility.
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier the clutch connection with LeBron, Draymond, and AD.
Yep.
And obviously they're great friends as well. To me, there's clearly some machinations going on behind the scenes because most likely, and I would agree with Washington on this, they're not going to give AD a 4-year, $275 million extension. As good as he is when he plays, because of his health questions, I would not do that if I'm Washington. You just got the number one pick. You just gave Trae Young all that money. I don't think you want to lock yourself up financially, for basically the next several years. So I don't think that'll happen. And with that being the case, there may be some pressure being put on Washington to get this done and move AD to Golden State. If I'm Washington, though, I would certainly test the market on AD. I would think I could get more. You're right. He obviously didn't get much when he was traded from Dallas, but I would see if I could get more because another contender.
But could he force his way to?
Well, I don't know if it depends. Like if no other team really is like, oh, we're definitely going to give him the 4-year extension, he really doesn't have the leverage. So now, and Golden State, that the situation there, I doubt they'll commit to giving him that. But it may be like, all right, go there, AD, have a prove-it year. If he's great and they go to the conference finals or maybe further, then maybe they would lock him up if he's healthy and all that. So, but as far as them being good, they would be a very good team, obviously assuming health, which is a big assumption,
100%.
Huge assumption. But with AD and Draymond, you do have two still very good defenders. Steph, obviously, the shooter. LeBron, I see LeBron playing a role like he did for Team USA when he was fantastic. As the point guard. It would be, I still think San Antonio, assuming there are big improvements, this move, if I'm the Spurs and they're already looking at power forwards, I would be like, we've got to get another like big to help
like
out.
A Rui move.
Rui. John Collins is somebody they look like who I think would fit well there. But I think it would necessitate that type of move from them. But it would be incredibly fun to watch, and I do think they'd be a top 4 team in the West.
I think your point about AD's contract is one of the reasons why he doesn't have as much. You're not going to get as much in return in an AD trade because you're saying most teams.
You don't know if it's
right. Most teams don't want to extend him, so you're trading for a player with a year left. You know what I mean? So you're not going to give away a ton for a player who it's like, well, we don't know if you're leaving, but we also are nervous about locking you up, and so
so maybe they do. That's where Jimmy Butler would give them financial relief in the future.
Let me pitch you an idea because my radar is up, my antennas are up with how teams are going to start building based on the Knicks' success.
Sure.
And we talked about it earlier about like, and this is what hit my radar. When you're like, they're great friends. I'm like, oh yeah, that was the Knicks story. Are we going to see chemistry rise to the forefront of what we need when it used to just be measurables? I want a guy who's 6'9" and can shoot threes and guard all positions. Like, okay, I'll put chemistry up. Experience. When you walk in the finals, like, oh man, the Spurs are just losing games because they're not experienced and the Knicks have more experience. This team has got a lot of friendship and a lot of playoff experience, championship experience. And then we talk about the injury concern. Can they organize their year so that they're peaking at the right time like the Knicks when the Knicks weren't that good? The championship Knicks weren't as good as they were in the December Knicks. The December Knicks couldn't win. The June Knicks could. So could you, I don't know how you could do that though. Like, could you do the whole year like, hey, man, we need to peak right in the play? I know LeBron can.
LeBron, it did feel like was peaking at the, like, he I think knew
and he sat out the first.
Yeah, he sat out the beginning of the year with the sciatica and then also missed, 2 weeks when Luka went on that scoring run, which is one of the reasons when he came back, he kind of changed his style. Yep. So I think LeBron, one of the benefits of 24 years in the league is knowing how your body needs feel at the end of the year, as long as you don't get dinged up. Steph, I think Kerr has always been careful with Steph's minutes.
Yeah.
I think that they would need to be more careful with his games because his injury was a weird one. It was a runner's knee, and then it just kind of derailed him.
Steph and AD are the biggest.
Yeah, and
bigger worries than LeBron.
And AD, but the thing is, AD, I just feel like it's just hope.
You saw the last time he got hurt. It was, I believe, it was his first game back.
Yes.
And he just
it was 3 quarters into it. You're talking about the game in Dallas?
Yeah. And he just kind of.
Oh, I think you're talking about the eye.
Well, it's weird stuff too. He got hit in the eye, the hand. Yeah.
All right, how far can Team USA go? We discuss after the break, and we're counting down to Germany, Paraguay. From Boston, 4 hours and 52 minutes.
And a major guest announcement.
Oh, wow.
Really? A major guest announcement coming up.
These games in New York.
It's going to be fireworks.
Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online, and a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business, you'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
Major announcement. Darren Fletcher announced on Instagram. Looking forward to First Things First tomorrow. So 10:30, right before he calls France, Sweden, here in New York, has tweeted he's coming on the show.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's going to be.
You better hope Brazil wins.
Well, you know what? That is huge. That is. I have even more on the game now all of a sudden. He is going to roast me if they lose. KW is going to roast me in the A block.
I'm not going to roast
you.
No, I've just laid out several solid reasons why Japan is going to upset Brazil.
You made the actual pick. You
go out like that.
Yeah, you get bragging rights if they win. You didn't hedge. This was great.
I mean, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we respect that.
9 hours and 17 minutes till Netherlands, Morocco tonight. Who do you have in this one, Dax?
Netherlands. Sorry, Zach.
Zach, one of our bosses, is Morocco.
I got Morocco. I'm with Zach.
There you go.
I think Africa has been the continent of Africa. Their teams have been overperforming in this World
Agreed.
Cup. They've some upsets and
I've been a little underwhelmed by Morocco, just a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
You really didn't like Brazil. That's the long tail of Brazil. It's like Brazil's not that good, and Morocco couldn't even beat them.
USA, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Wednesday at 8 on Fox. You know, a lot of things have to break a lot of different ways, but we're using the Athletics Brackets forecast. Here is one possible path. Round of 32 game, but that's one's locked in stone.
Round of 16 would definitely be those two.
Round of 16 is Belgium-Senegal, the winner of Belgium-Senegal. Quarters, Spain or Portugal. Semis, we could see France, Netherlands, or Germany. In the finals, we could see a lot of different teams, but according to The Athletic, the most likely team, Argentina, England, or Brazil, or if you have Brazil losing right away, it really.
It just takes them off.
The Ivory Coast goes on a run. What is success for the USA moving forward, Dax?
You have to win. You have to beat Bosnia. That is
mandatory,
unequivocally, first and foremost, necessary. I saw what you said about it earlier. It would be. You'd never want to look past an opponent, and I don't like when analysts or media members come on here and say, "Well, they have no chance. Bosnia has no chance. No chance. We're better, but it's going to be a white wall." No. Of course, any team has a chance. I think we've seen that in this World Cup with the number of overwhelming favorites struggling to get a positive result. And by the way, if that is in the knockout rounds and the lesser team can get it to extra time and penalties, it's a total coin flip.
Can I ask you an odd question on teams mismatched games that we're about to watch theoretically? Is there a situation where you would almost rather play a stronger team that is trying to beat you, and there's going to be opportunities, and it's going to be a
more open game
versus this game, or I think you said Brazil-Japan could even be this way.
Sure.
Or like, you know what? Play them to a draw and let's see what happens.
Park the bus.
Absolutely. Especially with the U.S. men's national team, what I have seen from them right now, I would love to see them in a relatively open game where maybe they would be the underdog. And so we will most likely get there. I see the U.S. men's national team beating Bosnia, and I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think it will be akin to if you combine the Paraguay and Australia game, right, into one, and you see a team that is organized, a team that's going to sit deep, a team that's going to be chippy and try to break the game up. I think it will be a very difficult game for the U.S. men's national team, but they have the quality to go and win the game. I have Senegal beating Belgium in their round of 32 opponent, and I think that rematch after the U.S. had beaten them in the friendly leading up to it, with Senegal, I think, having really good momentum and vibes on their side after coming through a really tough group. There was no real group of death, but the most difficult group in the competition. And I think that would be a very challenging game for the U.S. men's national team. I still think they would be the favorite to advance. And then What would success look like? Yeah, get to that quarterfinal against Spain or Portugal, if Portugal can even get past Croatia and get it together. And then, to your point about being in an open game, to being an underdog, to having transitional moments on either side, to playing with no fear. I do not think the U.S. men's national team would win that game against Spain or Portugal if Portugal were to get there. But I do think that there is absolutely something to say about being the first U.S. men's national team in history to win 2 knockout round games, which has never been done before in our history, and do it on home soil, where after your group stage performances, I'm going to give them a pass on the Turkey A game because of the rotation. You will say that is unequivocally the best tournament that the U.S. men's national team has ever played in their history. And while it's not lifting a trophy at the end, it is changing the perception of what people view United States men's soccer as. And that, more so than potentially winning the trophy, would be a euphoric moment that no one can even predict how that would go. But changing the perception of what people view soccer in this country as, men's soccer specifically, because the women have been fantastic and have won, that would go further than any other result you could have. And so get to the quarterfinals, put in a great performance against Spain, make us believe again, play with no fear, and that, for me, is absolutely what this U.S. men's national team is capable of.
I agree that getting to the quarterfinals, the final 8, is success. I feel like anything less is really not. I mean, we'll have – they will have had a very good tournament because they beat Bosnia. That's the most wins we've ever had in the World Cup, 3. They've already broken the goals record for Team USA in the World Cup. You get to the – round of 16, that's a solid showing. But because of how well they've played, I would feel disappointed. I would feel disappointed.
If they beat Bosnia and
then lose
it's
to Belgium or Senegal.
It's not a failure, but it's disappointing.
Right. And so I think success is the final 8. Now, they've been so good and the path is so open that I really want to see them, and I'm not saying, obviously we all love to see them win, but I'm not even talking about that. I would love to see them go further than we ever had outside of 1930. You know, so that would mean beating Spain and getting to the Final
That would mean
4.
playing one of the greatest games that you've ever played and beating a team that would be the favorite.
Right, because as good, we will say this was our best team, but in 2002 we got to the quarterfinals. And so I wouldn't be able to say we went further than any U.S. team. And that's really, we've played so well. I think we've improved so much as far as this talent on this team that I really want to be able to say we went further than we've ever gone before.
Go ahead, Kate.
Starting to get nervous a little bit.
About Bosnia?
about being the hunt, about being a little bit, about being the hunted rather than the hunter.
We've never been in this position.
No, it's always like, I believe we will win, and like the marketing of the U.S. is all like, have faith, and why not us? And like, nah, we're here. And all of a sudden,
we're
Bosnia,
expected to do it.
We're expected. So I just wonder, and we've also scored first in all of these games.
And early.
It was the first time we were down was after the second goal from Turkey A. But Chris Richards never been down in this World Cup. Our real squad hasn't been down. So if they get a goal, I forgot the name of the 18-year-old superstar on Bosnia-Herzegovina who had the
If they get a goal early, do they get nervous? Does the U.S. get nervous?
I will be super, not even nervous, like in tight.
Yeah, so I think that's a fair concern. Can I quickly just give potential grades?
Sure.
Of course.
Lose in a round of 32. F triple minus.
Yeah.
Lose in the round of 16. B minus.
Yeah, like
it's you bring that home.
Stage, I might say C.
The group stage so good. It's we're going to be playing.
We can beat Senegal.
We can beat Senegal.
Belgium,
we can beat Belgium, but again, so that's fine.
Belgium,
C plus, B minus, something like that. Make it past that round. Lose in the round of 8, the quarterfinals, which has been what I have been targeting this whole time. A minus.
Exactly right.
Okay, fair.
Win that game. Lose in the semis. A plus.
Correct.
That is an A plus tournament.
Yes.
That'd be
lose to France.
Lose to France.
Yeah, that's A plus.
Win that game. Lose in the final. Down to an A.
Down to what?
Yeah, down to an A.
No.
And then win the whole tournament A triple plus.
Obviously.
I'm just telling, like, there is, it will. We will
feel
go
like
into that. We will
It'll feel
go
like
into
the
that
Super Bowl.
France game. If we beat Spain, we'll go into that France game being like, "Oh my God, look at what we did!" Like, it's still a long ways away. It's far away. We kind of won our title. Lose France, we feel amazing. Yeah. If you beat Spain then France, and then get clipped by this Brazil team, no one believes in.
Easy schedule.
Easy route. Emotionally.
What did Drake look at their completion percentage against winning teams?
Hold on, just very quick. Bonus take.
Bonus take.
The other reason they can't lose in the round of 32 is, I don't know if you guys saw the story, whoever runs U.S. Soccer, I don't know, the faceless entity, it's like, hey, Pochettino, we'll give you a contract extension.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We want him to want to coach this team.
Yeah, we didn't discuss that.
I think he does.
And so I do
You
too.
think he's gonna stay?
But I'm saying, I
don't know.
But I'm saying if we go on a run, he's more likely to stay.
Absolutely.
If we go on a run, I think he's more likely
I
to stay.
don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, okay.
I would like get out while the getting's good a little bit.
Well, okay, maybe. But I think if
I don't know. If we go on a super deep run, like, whew, I'm good here. Does Caleb need a new nickname? His trademark denied. Wait till you see who's got it. And we're counting down to Brazil, Japan on Fox from Houston. 1 hour and 7 minutes. Brazilian fans excited. Japan fans ready for the upset. This one starts at 1 o'clock on Fox.
This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health Premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.